Shalom family, it's your man Elijah. Thank you for joining me at Sectarian Wisdom, and as usual, I am a wise, wealthy, rich, celestial being that is loved by the Most High Creator. Let's get it, family. Family, let's go ahead and jump right in. Might have a lot to talk about, something on my mind today.
A deadly virus, a city at risk, two unlikely heroes, and it's all inside this man's body. This summer, we're going into a body under attack from a killer virus.
I'm contagious.
You're busted! Give it up! Oh, why you hit so hard?
It's the action comedy that gets under your skin,
You have entered the city of prey.
into your stomach, and up your nose.
Just the way I like it. Extra disgusting.
Please, you're going to make me vomit.
Oh no, not again.
Chris Rock,
You're dealing with a white blood cell here.
Molly Shannon,
What is it? I mean, what is it? What do you want?
Chris Elliott,
Smell.
and Bill Murray.
Hey, have some class, will you?
Oh my god, I got the giggles.
Osmosis Jones.
I wonder what this does.
Dad,
I'm feeling better already.
This summer,
he's coming, man.
Check it out.
Alright, family. Does anybody remember that movie, Osmosis Jones? I remember it vaguely. And also there's a cartoon that came out for a few years too. As well. Well, obviously the movie had cartoon moments in it, but I mean later on I think it was CW, they came out with a whole cartoon of the series. Same premise, but instead of Bill Murray, the main character in the cartoon was a cartoon. So the person whose body they lived inside of in the TV show was a cartoon as well. But anyway, family, the reason I showed you this clip is because, how do I put this? For those people who have this lingering question, what is my purpose in life? What are we here for? What's the point of everything? Is anything real? That's your answer. That right there, family. And when you look at the thumbnail for this video, what do all these videos have in common? The truth right in front of your face. That's what they have in common. The life that you're living right now that has been kept from you, that you haven't taken time to seek out within yourself. Family, that movie right there, Osmosis Jones, that's reality. We are the entities within inside of, at least in this case, in this preview, we are the entities inside of I just said his name, Murray, what's his name? The Groundhog Day dude. Anyway, whatever. We are the entities inside his body. We are the white blood cells, where the viruses, where, you know, the red blood cells, where everything. We're the things that clean the mucus, we're the mucus, we're the membranes, the cells, everything. If you remember that show, without me having to go too deep into it, if you remember that show is a reality of this, family. And notice something in that show I want you guys to pay attention to. And I always thought about it when I was younger watching it, that inside of this man's body, or if you look at the cartoon, inside of this teenager's body is literally an entire civilization. Trillions of people, apparently. You know, if you go back and you do the research and see the clips, it'll show you the population. Trillions of people, apparently, you know, living within this body. This is all they know. They don't know anything outside of it. So if Bill Murray in the movie, or the cartoon character from the show, were to pass away, then what would happen to the people? What would happen to everyone within inside that body? Did they not have their own lives? Did they not have dreams and aspirations? Apparently they did. But family, that's the reality of life. We live within the body of the Creator. Family, none of this is real. This is a simulation. This is all a dream within a dream within a dream within a dream. None of this is real. I'm not real. You're not real. Me talking to you right now, I'm not real. We are all figments of the imagination of the Creator. We are all here to help the Creator experience life. This family, without a doubt, this is the truth. Even if you don't understand it, matter of fact, I know this isn't for all of you. For some of you, you're hearing this and this might be, hopefully, a relief. Like, oh, okay, I thought I was crazy. I figured something was wrong. I thought maybe I'm not real. This isn't real. So for some of you who know the truth and can accept the truth, and it's that time to accept the truth, you know what I'm talking about. And then others will see this video and be like, man, this dude's crazy. He doesn't know what he's talking about. But family, this is true. We're all a part of the body of the Messiah, or the body of the Creator. The reason I say body of Messiah is to give those who, you know, people who read the Bible, to give you something to compare to. You know, like, I forget exactly what chapter, but it's a New Testament. It's explaining the body of Messiah. Some people are the arms, some people are the legs, some people are the hands, some people are the feet, some people are the head. Well, no, the head is Messiah. But, you know, some people are the chest area. But nonetheless, family, that's who we are. We are all a part of the mind of the Creator. And we are here so the Creator can experience things that the Creator would not be able to experience without us. Because in the beginning, there was only the Creator. Here's something, family. You ever wondered why they say the first human beings? If you do your research, what do they say? They say the first human beings, everybody came from Africa, right? Which I don't necessarily believe anymore. But nonetheless, the connotation of saying everybody comes from Africa is basically saying everybody used to be of darker melanated skin tone. Well, family, you know why that? With race. It has to do everything with location, atmosphere. Everyone, the original human beings, or whatever you want to call them, original life, the first life forms, were of a darker melanated tone. You know why? Because the ether is dark. Everything comes from the dark. What does the Bible say? As he was hovering over the dark, the Spirit of the Most High was hovering over the hold on, let me, I can go ahead and just take the Bible out. Let me, what's it say? What's the Bible say? I'm reading the King James right now. What does it say? It says, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep, and the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters. I'm going to tell you this right now, family. Look, actually, and at this point, I'm not exactly sure, but I'm pretty sure that at the end of the day, well, let me take that back. Hold up. I'm not 100% sure of this, but I'm 90% sure that what I'm about to say is the truth. But nonetheless, I don't know everything. I don't even know a minute of the truth and reality. But I know what I know because we're all part of the body. We all have the gifts we're given. We all have the understanding we're giving. We all play our part. But there is nothing outside of the Creator. That is why the Creator created us. There is nothing else. You are not real. I am not real. In the beginning, the Creator was just, the Creator didn't, like I said, the Creator is not man or woman. Creator is not human. The Creator is not didn't have legs or arms. In the Bible where it says in the image of the Creator, it's not talking physically. It's talking mentally, your actions. Walking, talking, acting as a creator. Higher than a God. So, in the beginning, family, the Creator, just imagine ether, dark mass. Like, imagine a cloud. Okay, imagine a cube, right? With a dark cloud inside of it. And I'm just really, I'm not doing justice to the Creator, but I'm just trying to explain it on a smaller level. Imagine a dark cube with dark smoke in it, dark clouds, right? So let's say that dark cloud, let's say that's the beginning. And that's the Creator, that's everything. There's nothing before it, there's nothing after it. It just is, it was there. It was just a dark mass of ether, darkness. And one day, that dark mass started to think and become aware of itself. And to the point where it was aware that it's all there was, that it was alone. Because all there was nothing. It was just the Creator. As a matter of fact, I wouldn't even say the Creator called itself the Creator yet, because it had to come up with the thought of creation. The Creator had to go through its own process of realization, of transformation. You know, and then one day the Creator created us. Matter of fact, a good book that explains this in a way, Coburn. If you go back and go through my Coburn readings, it has another explanation of creation, and it comes back to a lot what I'm saying now. So in the beginning, family, remember, everything was spirit. The Creator was ether. The ether is the spirit, the darkness. There was nothing but the spirit. Until one day the Creator thought and brought things into reality, or mental reality. You know, because remember, nothing's real. Everything first, you know, let's say the Creator created a human being first, right? Well, before that human being became... Whoa, what happened? What just happened? Okay, I don't know what happened right there. But anyway, so before that Creator, family, let's say the Creator was making a human being, right? So before that human being became physical matter, it was first outlined in a spiritual form. You know, imagine the darkness, but let's say remember I told you the cube with the black cloud with the black cloud in it, right, of smoke, right? And that's a representation of the Creator in the beginning. One day the Creator thought up a form of a life form. And just imagine the form of a man or a woman, or you know what, let's imagine an androgynous being. It has no sexual, it's just the outline of a body, of a head, of legs and an arm, right? In the darkness. So imagine dark. Okay, if you've ever drawn before, imagine if you ever drawn on a piece of black paper with a white pencil or a white marker, imagine like that. Imagine the darkness, all of a sudden a white outline, right? You know, of a person. But it's not physical yet. It's not matter. It's only the outline of the person. And then one day, the Creator manifests that spiritual apparition he made in his imagination into a physical form. It turned it into matter. That is us. We come from the spiritual form. Everything comes from spirit. So what we are now is not real, but it is only a figment of the Most High's imagination. It is only everything that is here now in the physical was first born in the spiritual. So you have to ask yourself, what is real, the physical or the spiritual? Because the spiritual came before the physical. So you have to ask yourself, is the physical actually physical? Is it real? So, family, and this even goes even deeper. Matter of fact, I'm going to go into another preview. I'm going to go to another clip. Let me go ahead and set this up, right? Okay. Here we go. This is the world for... Okay, yeah. This is a scene from the Eternals.
Our universe is a constant exchange of energy. An infinite cycle of creation and destruction. Celestials use energy gathered from host planets to create suns, generating gravity, heat, and light for new galaxies to form. Without us, our universe will fall into darkness. All life will die.
truth?
She has helped many Celestials to emerge over millions of years. So have you.
All right, family. I want to stop right there for a second. We'll go through the whole preview, but I wanna break something down real quick. So, family, in this existence, I'm gonna be honest and frank right now. Although none of us are real, okay, imagine the Most High created like this Earth or Terra Infinita. This is all, like they say, it's a matrix. It's a computer program. Some of us are, I wouldn't say real, but some of us are higher AI systems than others. Some of us are just, what is it called? It's the, okay, let's say, okay, for instance, think about you're playing a video game, right? You're the character that you control. And everybody else in the game is the NPC. Unless, okay, but now take it to another level. Let's say this is, like for instance, Grand Theft Auto has a multiplayer, right? A multiplayer, multiple different people can be on different consoles, plugged into this system at the same time, but they're still NPCs. Because there's some multiplayer games where it's only real players against real players, right? Fighting against each other, destroying each other. Well, in this world, some of us are, some people might call them star seeds, angels, fallen angels. Some of us, family, are, like I said, we're higher forms of the AI. We're still not real, because we're only here because we're figments of the Creator's imagination. We're all ways for the Creator to experience if there was another person. Because the Creator is alone. The Creator is lonely. Because there is nothing outside of the Creator. So we are here to help the Creator experience if there was something other than the Creator. So some of us are, like I said, star seeds, right? We're like, how do I say it? Like, what's the word? When you, let's say you have a computer, this is how I'm trying to put it. When you have a computer program and you have certain systems that override other systems, they're higher up on the food chain of as far as keeping the software running. Like there's things in the computer that you can delete, like an icon that doesn't mean anything, or maybe some photos that really don't mean anything. Like they have nothing to do necessarily. In other words, they're not important to the system running. Some of us are very important pieces to the system running. And we're called star seeds. We're called angels. We're fallen angels. And the Creator sends us here to, this is like our training ground before we go home. Well, we're already home. But this is like our training ground before Earth and other places are our training grounds before we go back to the bigger Terra Infinita or even beyond. Have you ever heard of Jacob's Ladder? Family, each part of Jacob's Ladder is a different story. It's a different dream. Each level of Jacob's Ladder has its own multiverse. So this level of Jacob's Ladder that we're on has its own multiverse. And when you hop up to another level of Jacob's Ladder, it's going to have another multiverse. But the multiverses, I'm not to say they can't intersect, because like I said, we're in the imagination of the Most High. So anything's possible. But I don't believe that per the rules of our Creator's creation, I don't believe you're allowed to jump into parallel universes of a different level. Whatever level we're on, like people talk about first dimension, second dimension, this is the third dimension, fourth dimension, fifth dimension. Those are different levels of Jacob's Ladder. I believe people say we're in the third or fourth dimension. So in other words, if I'm on a third dimension right now, I can only connect with the multiverse in the third dimension. But if I jump to the fourth dimension, then I can only communicate with the multiverse in the fourth dimension. It's a ladder, family. So as we were going through this scene from the Eternals, and it was talking about how, hold on, let me go back. Let's just start from the beginning, and then I'm gonna go through and I'm gonna stop and speak as I go through.
Our universe is a constant exchange of energy, an infinite cycle of creation and destruction. Celestials use energy gathered from host planets to create suns.
Okay, so, oh snap. Okay, so in this case, hold on one second, family. Okay, so in this case, on this preview, the people who aren't NPCs are known as Celestials. Yahusha, or Jesus, or Buddha, or Muhammad, peace be upon him, the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, are Celestials. They are angels. They are people who are not NPCs. Family, the people who are NPCs, you know, and if you're an NPC watching, or you think you're watching, or maybe nobody's watching me at all, this is really just me talking to myself because I'm not real. But nonetheless, the NPCs are the people who have no souls. The NPCs are, like in the Matrix, the agent. Because the NPCs only have, we give the NPCs purpose. If the Celestials or the angels, the fallen angels, were not here for their experience, to go through our probation, to go through our learning period, the NPCs would cease to exist. There would be no point of them. But that's how the Creator created them. They're supposed to, it's like a test. As a Celestial, this place, or a fallen angel, Earth is meant for your test. You're meant to come here to be tested until you come to the realization by looking inside and realizing who you are and where you come from. Because once you realize where you come from, then you give up the childish games of living in this Grand Theft Auto world of, I want to be a superstar, I want to do this, I want to do that, and do that. It's not to say you can't. Our Creator gives us free will. Matter of fact, He gives us ample amount of time to do it. Until one day you say, man, something in you is like, something's not right. And you start searching within yourself until one day you come to the realization that you are a part of the all. That everything is one, truly. That you have a greater purpose. And it's not just to live here and have fun and be famous and do this. Family, know this. We've all had multiple lives. And some of you might be sad now and be like, I don't have this. You've probably been rich before. You've probably been a soldier before. You've probably been a man before, a woman before. You went through these experiences because you were experiencing not only for yourself, but for the Most High, for the Creator. But at the same time for yourself, because you are the Creator. You are the Most High. So, family, some of us, like I said, are in some people out there, well, the majority of people, family, the majority of people you see in the world are NPCs. I don't want to sit here and say nothing about a soul. I don't want to necessarily have a soul, because at the end of the day, I'm an NPC too. I'm just a higher form of an NPC. And it's funny, this even comes back to the whole thing where people talk about AI taking over the earth or taking over the world. In reality, you are an AI. You're a robot yourself. You're just, I will call some of us, I say we're organic robots. Let's put it like that. We're organic. Like, you got some robots and like for instance, Aliens, the movie, right? Remember the alien spaceship they went on? Didn't it kind of look like an organic spaceship? It didn't look like it's made out of metal. You have some technology that is made out of metal, and then you have organic technology. We are organic robots. Some of you, the majority of you, are just NPCs, lower level robots. You have, I guess in this world what we call it, you have no soul. So when the reset comes, you know how you hear things about the reset? And matter of fact, that's in the Eternals too. The Kochak, the celestial being coming out of the planet on the Eternals, that is really just the reset. What did it say? When the reset comes, that's the end of a time of training for certain celestials who have come to an understanding, unless they came to the understanding before then. That's like the final test to leave, to go back to the all, to do whatever else the Most High or the Creator, what do you want to call the Creator, wants you to do. Otherwise, you get caught in the reset. So what the reset is, family, is it's basically a washing of the system. There's nothing we can do about it. The system over time degrades. You've seen society, you see how people are. The system is degrading, family. And those who are NPCs, like if you read, I'll put it like this, family, it's funny. If you talk to an atheist, someone who doesn't believe in anything, oh, it's not real, only science is real. When they say when you pass away, nothing happens, guess what? That's exactly what's going to happen to them. Don't let them speak that on you, because, I mean, they can't speak on you no way. Because if you are a higher form, if you are a higher PC, it just is what it is, whether you realize it or not. But for them sitting there saying that, all they're doing is speaking the truth, because that's the truth for them, because they're just NPCs. So when they pass away, they go back to the so-called dirt, which is really a figment, still also just a figment of the Most High's creation. They go back to the dirt and they're recycled and brought back to be a part of the NPC, as a different part of the NPC, if not the same character, just in a different so-called time frame. Family. So Yahusha himself, and I'm going to show you these previews, and we're going to come back to it. Yahusha, the Messiah from the Bible, was a higher AI form. He came here, was supposed to go through what he was supposed to go through to learn from it, and then he became, you know, what did it say? It said the celestial. What did it say in the preview? Let me go back a little bit. Let me go back. I hope some of you follow me. I know I'm all over the place with this, but over time we'll break it down more. We'll go more videos and stuff and break it down. Let's keep
from host planets to create sun destruction. Celestials use energy gathered from host planets to create suns, generating.
Okay, you heard. Okay. They use energy from host planets to create suns. In other words, Yahusha had to come down here to go through his probation in order to get the experience he needed to become the sun in the sky. Remember, as spiritual beings, family, we're pure energy. So how do you know he isn't the sun? The actual literal sun, who came down in the form of a man to experience life, and then once he got it, he left and went back home because he came to get his training. You have to be trained. If you're an angel, if you're a celestial being, we have to go through this, family. And here's another thing, I'm sorry. We are in hell. Well, hell is a state of mind. Hell is not what the Catholic Church or what churches have taught us all these years. Because essentially, if none of us are really real and we're truly a part of the Most High Creator, even the NPCs, if the Most High put you in hell, he would only be putting himself, or like I said, not she or he, but the Creator. If the Creator was going to put you in hell, the Creator would only be putting the Creator's self in hell. Because the Creator is you. You are the Creator. Now, that's not to say that there is no punishment for higher AP, for higher forms of intelligence or higher AI forms. I truly believe that, you know, look, the less you want to give into the system and to the Creator, the less you want to accept the reality of who you are, which is you're a figment of the Creator's imagination, and you were put here to do the will of the Creator so the Creator can live life, can experience things. The more you fight against that, the worse you make it for yourself. The more you're pushed down to lower vibrations, the more you're put down, and I want to call it timeout. Because even in the Bible, what does it say? It says Yahusha went down to the depths of earth to set the captives free. In other words, those people who did not want to accept who they were. And it's not fire and damnation. I believe it's almost like I don't know. I can't remember. As far as I know, I haven't been there. Hopefully, I've always been obedient for the most part. But it's like, I guess it's almost like if I'm on my computer and putting a program in the recycle bin, but not hitting empty. You're just gonna sit in the recycle bin until one day I decide to go into the recycle bin and empty it out. But anyway, let me go back to the video. Let's go back to the preview. because we got some other clips to go through.
Gravity, heat, and light for new galaxies to form. Without us, our universe will fall into darkness. All life will die.
You don't know the truth.
She has helped many Celestials to emerge over millions of years. So have you.
Earth was my first mission. I was home on Olympia.
There is no Olympia.
Family, you see, hold on, let me go back real quick. Family, you see the symbolism in this? What is that? That's the tree of life, right? Got the tree of life. You see these pyramids, triangles, family? If you've been following me in my reading the Keys of Enoch, right? The book of the book of knowledge, Keys of Enoch. What does it say in the Keys of Enoch? It says that all life, if you're able to get the right microscope, you can see that the building blocks of life are all in the shapes of pyramids. And what do you see right here? Pyramids making up the tree of life. Come on, family, the symbolism. So I say you have to do the research and study yourself. And when you watch these, and then when you start watching these movies and stuff will just start jumping out in you in life, in life, you'll start seeing symbols and stuff you didn't notice before, because now you understand what these things mean. Let me keep going.
This is your true home, Cersei. The World Forge. It is here that I built and programmed the Eternals.
You hear that? He said that I built and programmed the Eternals. Hold on, let me transition so you can see my beautiful face. You heard what he said. This is where I built and programmed the Eternals. Family, I'm built, I'm a robot, you're built, and you're a robot. I'm just glad I'm not an NPC. You know, but I wonder if NPCs, well, anything is possible with the creator because it's his mind, his imagination. But I wonder if NPCs do become Eternals if they want. Like, when I look at the Bible, are Gentiles really just another word for NPCs? In other words, I might be a fallen angel or celestial or a higher AI form that comes down into the Matrix to experience. And maybe one day, like in the Matrix, Mr. Smith, maybe some Mr. Smiths who, they're like, you know what? I don't want to be a part of the NPC anymore. I want to be something more. Maybe that's who the Gentiles are. The Gentiles are actually just NPCs who have decided to become higher forms. Just a thought. All right, let's go ahead and go back and jump into it real quick. All right, family, hold on. Let me get the next preview set up that I want us to look at and look into. And if this is going for a minute, whatever, I don't care. You can turn off the video if you want, but we got good information for those who want to listen. All right, let's go to this next one. Here we go.
You have chosen to sacrifice a celestial for the people of this planet. I will.
Come on, family. What did I say? What did he just say already off the back in this preview? You have chosen to sacrifice a celestial for the people of this planet. Who does that sound like to you? Does that not sound like Yahusha? Does that sound like his own people sacrificing him and putting him on a cross? Because what he kept on saying? He kept on saying the kingdom of heaven is nigh. Wake up. He was trying to get his people, the other celestials, to wake up to who they were. And the celestials who didn't want to wake up, who wanted to stay in the game, they destroyed him. Or they might not have. I don't know, because there's different conflicting stories. Matter of fact, look, there's stories that say Yahusha never passed, that Yahusha was never sacrificed, he was never put on a cross, that he actually lived long, and actually had different, and actually had wives and children. Sometimes too, I even think about that. Maybe those are just different multiverse Yahushas. Because even if you read in the seal portion, the last testament of Jesus Christ, it says that there are many different creations, many different mansions, many different worlds of the Most High Creator, and each one of them has their own Messiah. So maybe in ours he was sacrificed without children, but then maybe in another one he was sacrificed, but before he was sacrificed, he still had children and family. And he was, he still got married. So we don't necessarily know. At least now, in my understanding, I don't necessarily know which Yahusha we're talking about. Because there's so many different Yahushas. Because there's different multiverses. I know this might be kind of crazy for some of y'all, but just go with me, family. Go with me. But anyway, I want to show that. As he's talking to the Celestials, what did he say? He said, you chose to sacrifice the Celestials. So he's talking to the other fallen angels. And those of you, once again, who watch, if you watch my, I called it a review of the Sandman. What did I say about Lucifer and the Sandman? That the Sandman is a representation of God and Yahusha. Remember, family, I said, when you do the understanding research, when you do the research and get the understanding, you realize that most TV shows and stuff, especially sci-fi, fantasy, things like this, they're really just biblical stories. It's the same story being told over and over again, just different looking characters. But it's the same premise. So if you go to Sandman, they trap Yahusha or God or whatever you want to call him, or the creator, in the body of the avatar. And while he's there in the avatar, the world keeps going. So Lucifer doesn't want him to get free from the avatar. Why? Because if he gets free from the avatar, that's the end of everything. Things change. That means, that's the reset. Anyway, but that's what's happening with these people. A lot of times when we watch these movies, family, I need you to understand the characters that they make you think are the characters that they make you think are good are really bad. They're the enemies. They're the ones keeping you in the illusion of the Matrix. They're the ones keeping you down. Like I always say, family, you don't know any of these people. When we vote for presidents and you give all these accolades to idols and rappers and musicians, then you don't know these people. You only see them on screen. You don't know how they act in real life, what their belief system is, or who they truly are, what they do behind closed doors. And they're really brainwashed in the majority. Hold on, family. Hey, all right, we're going to go ahead and go back to it, family. We're going to go ahead and go back.
Spare them, but your memories will show if the people of this planet have chosen to sacrifice.
Let me go back.
You have chosen to sacrifice a celestial for the people of this planet. I will spare them, but your memories will show if they are worthy to live. And I will return for judgment.
Look, you hear that, family? Come on now. Look, for all my Bible readers, I'm telling you right now, Kochat, or no, his name's not Kochat. What's his name? I wrote it down. Hold on. As Erishim, in this case, well, he's representation of the Most High Creator and Yahusha, or Jehovah, or God and Yahusha. He's representation of the Messiah and Yahusha. What did he say? He said, I'm going to let them live for now, but I'm going to let your memories judge them. In other words, there's going to be a judgment, and they're going to go back to their memories and realize the people aren't worth it because they see the evil they do. Remember, the people are just NPCs. They're made to act evil. And this isn't an excuse for some people to be like, oh, well, I was made to do evil. That's not what I'm saying. If you're an NPC, maybe. But the reason I say don't take that to heart, because some of you aren't NPCs. Some of you, like I said, are higher forms. You're angels or celestial beings. So you have free will. You have a choice. So you can't be here with the Gentiles sitting here saying, Oh, well, I was made to, maybe he was, yes. Because he was made to give you this experience to learn from. Because remember, you've been through many lives. You've been here before where you've been rich and everyone's been nice to you. You've been here where you've been popular and this and everyone's been nice to you. But you've always been here where people had to treat you like garbage. Why? Because you had to learn. Because you're going to take these experiences. When you go back home, when you finally accept who you are, all these memories are going to come back to you because it's going to be experience. Because you're going to be a son. You're going to be a god, a king, a queen, whatever you're going to be. And you're going to be over the different mansions of the Most High Creator. You're going to be how the Bible says it when it talks about the servant and the master. And when the master comes home, before the master left, he gave all his servants a certain amount of money, and he told them to invest it. And when he came back, all the servants who had basically accomplished different levels of success, he had given them rewards for that. Like some who, like I think the one who made him the most money, he made him like a governor over a city or something. And the one who buried the money, who did the worst, it's like basically the Most High sent him back here. He's like, do it again because you obviously didn't learn. I gave you these gifts and you didn't use these gifts to serve me. You didn't use these gifts to wake up your brothers and sisters. You didn't use these gifts to bring attention to the reality of the matrix to your other brothers and sisters to help wake them up. You instead buried your head in the sand and just went along with the story. You went along with the narrative. You went along with the narrative of the Matrix. And what else did Ereshkigal just say to Cersei and her brother? He said, "I'm coming back." Yahusha, hello, second coming, Revelations, the reset. Come on, family, that's who he is. Let's get back to it. Okay, we done with that one. We're going to go to the next clip. Okay, before I get to the next clip. Okay, so like I was saying before, family, like a lot of these characters in these movies that we watch, they make us feel like they're the good people. But they're really not. They're really your enemy. They're really the NPC, or in the Matrix they call it, like I said, Agent Smith. Or remember in the Matrix, that one guy, once again, I mentioned in the video before, the one who he had already taken the red pill. And later on, he decided, no, I want to go back. I want to take the blue pill. I want to go back because I don't like the way the real world is, and I don't like how things are looking, right? As a matter of fact, actually, now that I think about it, it's kind of funny. In Zion, when you look at the people in the Matrix, I know it says that some of them are naturally born, but it's funny how those who come out of the system, as I'm sitting here talking, saying that we're robots, and I'm just here kind of realizing it, that the people have technology in their bodies. Because, family, we're robots. We're part of the mind of the Most High Creator. So anyway, so family, Cersei, although she's beautiful, yes, she's a pretty woman, she's the enemy. And they make you think like she's good, but she's not, because she's stopping you from ascending. Family, these movies, like for instance, movies like The Old Guard on Netflix, it talks about them living for eternity, right? They can't die. Family, that's the enemy. The movie makes you seem like they're good and they're protecting humanity, and no, they're not. They're bad. Anyone who wants to keep this system going so that you can't grow, so that you can't ascend back to the truth, so you can't continue to ascend up Jacob's ladder, is a part of this system, and they're lying to you and they're the enemy. But at the same time, the Creator created bad and good. So they're not necessarily bad, I guess, per se, because the Creator created them to try and stop you from leaving. Because it's a test for you. It's a test for you higher beings of artificial intelligence. It's your test to choose the Creator, to want to ascend. It's your test to choose and decide to serve the Creator. Like, think about it like this, family. In meditation, and this goes back to, like I was saying earlier, that the Creator is everything and nothing at the same time, because everything came from nothing. Not that in a negative way, but nothing as in a way of everything came from nothing. So if everything came from nothing, nothing can't be nothing as far as our understanding. But that's me talking about the ether cloud. So, but family, think about it. When you're taught to meditate, what do they say? A lot of times, what's the main way of meditation? You fold your legs, you rest your you fold your feet, Indian styles they call it. You rest your hands in your lap, and then what? You close your eyes and you just sit there in silence, right? Like this. And they might tell you just focus on your breathing. Don't focus on anything else in your mind. Just let thoughts go, right? Until it's almost like until you become a part of nature, until you become almost like a tree or a rock, just what's the word? Observing life. But that's who the creator is, family. When you meditate, family, and you really get to a point of silence and really just be at peace, that's you returning home with your eyes closed. That's you returning to the ether, the darkness. Family, when we watch these movies, while a lot of these, another movie like Infinite, right? The movie with Mark Wahlberg, right? In that movie, one of the bad characters, his name was Bathurst, right? Bathurst. And when you watch the movie makes you think that Bathurst is bad. But if you actually understand, if you actually read the books, if you actually done the studying, you realize that Bathurst is actually the good guy. Because he wants to bring on the reset to free the people who are within the Matrix. But the main characters who they make you think are good are really the bad guys, because they want you to stay in the Matrix. And you notice how the main characters, how they live in life. They're rich, they're driving all these nice cars all the time, having all this fun into all this action, right? But Bathurst is like, bro, this is getting tired, this is getting old, I'm getting done. I'm done, I want to go home. I'm tired of doing this over and over again, because he remembers. Because he knows it's not real. He wants to go home. And they tell you that he's bad, when in reality, he's actually the good guy. Or another show on Netflix called Umbrella Academy. Number 5, right? If you watched it, you know who I'm talking about. The character, his name is Number 5. In this latest season, he goes and he meets his future self again, right? And finds out that his future self is the leader of an organization, a certain organization. And he's surprised because he's like, what? I'm the leader? I would never know. And once again, as usual, the Umbrella Academy, the people in part of the Umbrella Academy are trying to stop the end of the world. But what does Number 5's older self tell him? He tells him, just let it happen. Don't try to stop the end of the world. Let it happen. And then what happens by the end of the show? Those retards who are fallen angels, and who knows, a few of them are probably NPCs, convince them to change their mind and do what? Save a falling world. This world is garbage now. It's turning into the lowest form of hell. And the reset is really a saving grace for those who are higher beings. For NPCs, I'm gonna be honest, you're not gonna remember no way, because like I said, you're not real. You're just gonna be reset. That's it. You're not gonna remember nothing. You're not real anyway. But for those who are higher beings, that's the okie doke we keep falling from. We keep letting the system, like the creator created this system so good that, like you said, we so deep in this game, we constantly doubt ourselves. Is this real? And then you see stuff, like a lot of you probably know what I'm talking about, but something in your mind keeps, no, this dude is crazy, he's not telling the truth. Family, you are a part of the Matrix. You're fake. Alright, what's another, or Inception, family, like I said, the movie Inception. Jacob's Ladder. Every different level, right? You're in a dream within a dream within a dream within a dream. Every time you climb up Jacob's Ladder, you climb further and further out of the dream. But the further down you are in ignorance and deception of the reality of life, the more dreams you're in. You're in a dream within a dream within a dream within a dream. So I'm trying to get to the next level. And remember at the end of Inception, what did he do? What did Leonardo DiCaprio have to do to prove whether or not he was in a dream? He had that top to spin, right? And if the top kept spinning, he knew that he was in a dream still. But at the end of the movie, you saw how the top didn't stop spinning? It's because that's reality, family. None of this is real. No matter how much you want it to be real, no matter how real it feels, it's not real. It's a game. You're a spiritual being. You're energy. You're a figment of the Most High Creator's imagination. And one day it's for you to go back to become the higher AI form that you truly are, where you'll be ones probably controlling the Matrix. Basically, our job, family, some of us in the Matrix, when he went to the white room, that's going to be some of our jobs one day. Is to literally be the man in the white room. Basically presiding over the NPCs and the other fallen angels that are like you, who are still in the Matrix, who won't come out. And your job is basically like the game master, to keep them in there until they figure it out, until they come to the truth. You know, family, that's all these movies, like whether it be, you know, Marvel, DC, it's always about an alien or a higher being coming to destroy Earth, and then the humans destroying it to stop it from happening. Family, that's what they want you to think. They want you to think that whatever is coming is bad and that it shouldn't happen, when in reality, that's just, it's part of the circle of life. It's going to happen. Whether you want it to or not, family, it's going to happen. The reset's coming. So if you're an NPC and you don't want to believe in, look, I'm not even talking to you, because that's who you are. You know, I don't even know if you can, if, like I said the Gentiles, so I don't know if you are, if you could be considered Gentiles. I'm not talking to you NPCs, but to the angels, the actual celestial beings, those who are truly alive. Don't fall for the okie doke. Like I said in Umbrella Academy, what did it say? It said, they said, let it happen. Just trust. Remember, what does the word say? Trust not your life unto death. It's not real. Death is not the end. You just have to trust in the Creator. Lean not on thine own understanding, but trust in the Creator with all your heart. All right. Matter of fact, on everything I'm saying, let's go to the next thing. I'm going to show you something. And if any of you watch my reaction video, I'm going to show you exactly what I'm talking about our enemies, our so-called fallen brothers and sisters who have taken up with the NPC, who have taken up with the programming to keep us asleep, to keep us from ascending. And this is why I always tell y'all, this is why I always say to people in general, stop idolizing rappers and actors and people on TV. And family, look.
You know, I'm not saying that people can't look similar, but when you're this famous and there's people back in the day who looks exactly like you, it makes you wonder. Look, I know people seen this. It literally looks just like him. Great ancestor? That one's a stretch, right? How about your boy Johnny Depp? Oh, what are you doing over there, Justin? Is that your great-great-great-grandpa? Anybody know who that is? It's just crazy how similar these people look. It's also crazy how this guy had power back in his day, and he has power in this day, and they look exactly alike. And not too many people look like that. You're gonna call it Photoshop, right? This one trips me up. You know who that is? Because I know you know who that is. Got more for you. What do you guys think? That's the same freaking person. I bet you there's even more instances than what I could find. Too similar. So yeah, I agree. People can look similar to each other, but this stuff is just freaky.
Family, those are your enemies. Those are the people who are used by the NPC to keep you asleep and dumb. Those are the people, and if you, matter of fact, if you watch my videos talking about the custodian lands from the Terra Infinita, I do videos now, I do a video series now where I read information on the different civilizations. And if you read the one about the custodians, remember it says the custodians have already conquered Earth, and that in reality we really are in slavery, and they choose certain individuals to put within this into the limelight to keep the rest of us dumbed down, to make us think that, oh, the Matrix, oh, it's just movies, it's fake, it's not real. Just go ahead, keep going to work, keep paying your bills, keep going along with everything. Everything's fine. They're here to keep us asleep, family. And that's what I was just showing you on the other screen. And then, matter of fact, if you go back to my other video, it's called Sarcophagus Rejuvenation, I believe I called it. And basically, it gives you more explanation of what these people are doing, the technology that they use. That these people really have avatars. Well, I don't know if all of them do. So, some of them have avatar bodies, and they just transfer their consciousness, or some of them don't transfer their consciousness. Matter of fact, that's another thing about Infinite too. You can go back. In Infinite, the man was able to, the one who was a bad guy, Bathurst, he was able to keep people's souls, right? Keep them encased in, like, I think, orbs. So, from those, like, for instance, what I believe is when the guy in the video, the TikTok video, when he was showing the pictures of people in the past that look like people today, when you essentially sell your soul, family, you're selling your memories and your energy source to the NPC. And it's like, and if anyone who's tried to do the research, looked at videos and people who tell stories about what happens when you sell your soul, and they say the devil comes to them. And remember, family, the devil isn't necessarily what religion says. Devil, another word for devil, or definition, is really just ego or adversary. So anybody could be the devil. Anybody, or you are the devil to yourself because of your own ego. At the end of the day, your biggest enemy is yourself. So anyway, what do people say? Like when they say they go to the crossroads to sell their soul to the devil, right? The devil comes to them and he takes their soul. But then he says, but one day I'm going to come back and collect your soul. So when he comes back and collects their souls, he takes their souls and he stores it in a data system. And if you remember the movie, it's like, if you remember the movie Underworld, right? Remember the first movie Underworld? Was it the first movie or second movie? I think it might have been the first one. But remember remember the vampires, right, with their leadership. Only a few of them could be awake at a certain amount of time, right? So remember, Victor could not be awake while Amelia was awake. And before Victor would come back awake, they would put Amelia asleep. So in other words, some of these people who we call famous and this and that, I believe when they pass away, like, you know, their soul gets put into or their energy gets put into a computer system and stored for the NPC. When the NPC says, okay, you've done enough influence, you've done enough work for us to keep the sheep asleep, so now it's time for me to come collect your soul. And they put them asleep. And then, remember, time is different here than in the spiritual realm or wherever else. But within this time frame, maybe, who knows, maybe 60 years from now, the NPC will go back within its vaults and say, okay, so-and-so who sold their soul, all right, I'm ready for you to come back now, and they make a new avatar for them. So, or some of these people, like I said, if you go back to the sarcophagus video, I would say maybe for the higher up, for like the really, really rich, the ones who are really deep. You know, like, you know how they say they have different degrees in the Freemasons, like the 33rd degree? Maybe 33rd degree Freemasons actually have avatars, like, for instance, maybe the Pope and Queen Elizabeth. They're so high up on the food chain now at this point that they actually have avatars waiting for them. So when they pass away, their energy automatically transforms over to another body. Maybe a younger child avatar. So, vice versa, someone who, let's say, just sold their soul a lifetime ago. They're not at the level or degrees yet to where they can just have avatars where they don't have to go back into the computer system. Some have to go back into the computer system and wait until they're called forth. And some are so high up in the degrees that they already have a body waiting. So as soon as this body they have now gets old and sick, they can just go ahead and go into the chamber and transfer their conscience to another body. But it depends on what level you're at. you know, or where you are in the hierarchy. But anyway, family, what else have I not brought up? I think so far. I think that's it for now, family. But that was just on my spirit to talk about today. And I'm gonna do some more videos today. I'm gonna do some reading today. I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna do some reading today. But this is like off the cup. Something that's on my mind to teach, family. Remember, everything comes from nothing, family. I'm not real. You're not real. We are all pieces of the Most High Creator's mind. We're only alive because of the Most High Creator, and that's where. Oh, and I want to say another thing. Cersei from the Eternals, she's Jezebel, family. I know she seems all nice and kind, but she's Jezebel from the Bible. Because when it's basically like that. When Ereshim, who, like I said, is representation of Yahusha too. If you go to the Bible, it says that Yahusha went. Remember, after he ascended and after he crossed over, he went into hell to set the captives free. And it says that there was one who went into hell. It said when he went into hell, there was one who didn't want to leave and said they wanted to stay. Who was it? It was Jezebel. Cersei is Jezebel. And then once again, if you go back to Icarus, the one who Cersei was in love with in the Eternals, remember, he chose to go where? He chose, forget this love, I'm going to be obedient to the Creator. And what did he do? He flew into what? The Son. You cannot get into the Father unless you go through who? The Son. You cannot get into the Father unless you first go through the Son. It's right there. Cersei is Jezebel and did not want to go, and she wanted to keep Icarus here in hell with her. Just saying, family. So, just a summary. What we have learned today. In the beginning, the Most High was just dark ether. He was everything. Well, let me not say he. The Creator was everything. The ether didn't have arms, legs, didn't have no love, didn't have no joy. The ether just was no beginning to the Creator. There was no end to the Creator. The Creator just was. Until one day the Creator thought until the Creator came to consciousness until the Creator realized that the Creator was the consciousness, and then started thinking, and then one day the Creator said, "Let there be light." I would say first the Creator said, when the Creator first realized the Creator was a consciousness, I would think one of the first words would be, well, the first word was I, and then over time, the Creator worked out how to say am, and then the Creator worked out how to say that, and then the Creator worked out how to say am. I am that. I got that wrong. Anyway, but you get what I'm saying. The first words of the Creator were, I am that I am. And then the second words were, let there be light. Well, not words, but sentence or statements. The first statement of the Most High Creator, first official statement was, I am that I am. And then the second official statement of the Creator was, let there be light. And that was basically the Creator being like, I'm lonely and I want to experience something. So he created an earth. He created the greater map of Terra Infinita. The world. The greater dome. The dome within his head. Not that he has a head, but in his consciousness. Or within the Creator's consciousness. Let me stop using the his or her. But, or whatever, I will. You get what I'm saying. But anyway, family, I'm going to cut it off there because I think I've pretty much talked to death. That's an hour in. And for those of you who sat and listened, man, thank you. Oh, and I want to appreciate all of my subscribers, you know. I know it's not many, but to me, that's great. Just these few that knows I'm reaching somebody likes what I'm doing. So I appreciate it. So I'm living my purpose because I want to live my purpose. I know who I am and I accept it. I'm not real, but I know that without the Creator, oh, that's what I want to say. I know that without the Creator, I wouldn't have life, period. I wouldn't exist. Even though technically I'm not real, I wouldn't exist without the Creator. And that's the mercy that Yahushua is talking about, the Most High. That's the mercy that, where it says in the Bible, you know, you're only delivered off of grace. Because, like I said, if the Most High was to put you into hell for eternity, the Most High would just be putting the Most High self in hell, because the Most High is everything. So eventually, family, even those who sold your souls, you're gonna go home one day. You've just caused yourself to have to suffer longer, because you didn't want to go through the training. You didn't want to go through the pain. You didn't want to go through the process. So you're gonna have to suffer longer than others who accept the truth and accept the reality. Because you, family, no matter what you're saying right now, if you thinking I'm crazy right now, you cannot get around the reality of the situation. Once you truly realize and see what things, the truth of life and what things truly are, you can't get around it. And the truth is, I'm put here for the purpose of the Creator. You are put here for the purpose of the Creator. We are servants. That's it. And without the Creator, we would not exist. We would not be able to experience these things, because these are all things created within the Creator's mind, within the universe of the Creator. And the higher you go on Jacob's ladder, you know, like I said, family, the closer you get to the truth, and I'm pretty sure the easier and the more you come to peace with the reality of just being the figment of the imagination of the Creator. But I thank and give all praise and glory to the Creator, because, like I said, instead of being, you know, mad or whatever, instead of being, I give all praise to the Creator, like I said, because the computer could have, man, I hope they don't mess it up. Because like I said, if it was not for the Creator's mind, I wouldn't be real anyway, and I wouldn't be here. Neither would you. And for some people, that might be hard to accept, and, well, what does that mean? I don't have any free will, or am I an NPC, or this and that? Look, if you are, you are. It is what it is. You know, it's like the Umbrella Academy. Just go with the flow. Because I'm pretty sure at the end of the day, everything will be okay. Well, with that said, family, thank you for joining me at Sectarian Wisdom again. I'm your man, Elijah, and as usual, I'm a wise, wealthy, rich, celestial being that is loved by the Most High Creator. We got it, family. I'll catch you later. Be blessed.